So the small little garden is producing. We dug up the potato and put a cabbage in there, but look. Wow. Hello everybody. In this video I will be talking about how I grew my own potatoes from grocery store potatoes. I've been hearing this rumor going around saying you can't do this lately, so this is why I tried it, and it worked. So on March 5th, I planted my own 2 potatoes that I got from the grocery store in a regular no-frills bag, and I got this sprout on March 29th. So a little bit of a late sprouter, but it worked. Once it really started sprouting, I moved it into a 5-gallon bucket, and that's where it lived out its life until about June. And then I moved it into the ground of the garden over here, just on the small one. I don't really water this garden, I won't lie, so these potatoes were really put to the test. Survival of the fittest. Now this brings us forward to about July 7th when I decided to harvest these. We took a shovel to the ground and we started digging up everything we could around this potato plant. It looks like it was dying from the outside, so that's one of the main reasons we did. So I mainly got 5 or 6 bigger sized potatoes. They look about 2 golf balls put together. The smaller ones are about half the size of a golf ball, and we got a fair bit of those. But either way, I went to town scrubbing all the skin off and washing them up and then boiled the water. Cutting them open, they do look like 100% normal grocery store potatoes. They're nice and golden. These are going to be really good for cooking. I'm actually making mashed potatoes for myself, and I'm going to be using one of the shallots actually that I also grew in my garden as a spice and a garnish today with it. The main difference between this and a grocery store potato that I was finding is the skin of this was really easy to take off. So I used an actual dry sponge with a little bit of water on it every now and then, and that took all the skin off. With a regular potato from the grocery store, I normally wouldn't be able to do that. So I'm thinking that's either because I didn't water it enough maybe, and it's just not a strong skin, or maybe this is just the potato itself. I'm not certain if these specific potatoes were used with any GMOs. Probably. I'm not sure exactly which ones, but I'm also not sure if they were able to leach down into the ones I'm using now. However, I will say I did notice a bit of potato bugs on the outside of them, which is another reason that I wanted to dig them up. Normally, if there is pesticides used, you will not get potato bugs. So that is a bit of a confusion for me. If you guys know anything about that, let me know in the comments. I'm just doing an experiment here. Once my potatoes were done boiling, I mixed it with some milk and I put it on a nice beating. They turned out so fluffy and delicious. Oh my gosh, they were good. And then I chopped up my garnish. Let it dry first. So what I did is just literally use scissors. Chop. Let it dry. Washed it. Put them on my potatoes, and they were so good. These tasted, in my opinion, way better than grocery store potatoes. And that was because they were so creamy, they're light. It didn't taste so heavy, if that makes sense. I know a potato is normally heavy. These potatoes did not taste heavy. They tasted pretty light. They tasted like I had a nice, light, cute meal that was good for my body. And this is the final product. I'm using green onions grown in the garden and potatoes grown here. The only thing that's not in this bowl right now that came from my garden is the milk. But I can live with that. I'm very happy. This is super yummy looking, and I'm going to take the first bite right now. I don't have any utensils, so we're just going to hand bomb it. My summary, my review, I do recommend them 9 out of 10. The only thing that could have made them better was, of course, being bigger. I think that was my fault. However, I don't know if it was my fault, so I'm going to try this again. I'm going to let you guys know how it goes. I just planted a couple more potatoes. It's July. It's the end of July now. But I just planted a couple more potatoes, so I'm looking forward to seeing how those turn out. I'm hoping to get a harvest from those by about November. So let me know what you guys are doing, and let me know your gardening goals for this year. And if you have any tips and if you're doing any potatoes yourself, that could help me. Thank you so much. Bye.